physically in the studio. Fox Sports analyst is joining us here on a Thursday. 10 years in the NFL.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Another comment on the shirt.
So good seeing you, buddy.
Questionable.
Hold on. You know, so
we have an optimism.
I like that. My optimism meter.
I'm optimistic that J-Mac's going to wear something else tomorrow.
You don't like his shirt?
No, I'm joking.
No, I think
giving him a hard time.
if you put a disco ball on a blackjack table, he'd be perfect.
God, look at that guy.
Look at
Where's
that guy.
time gone?
Look at how gritty you were and determined.
Back in my prime, coach.
In your prime. So this is the time that we pick apart everybody. So I try to be positive. But I do think, I will say, the Caleb Williams stuff, there have been, Ryan Leaf said something, Lance Zierlein said something, and I thought they were fair, is that in this sport, and Mahomes had a little bit of this early, and so did Lamar. They leaned into the spectacular because it worked in high school and college. You played with NFL guys at USC. Mm-hmm. You know, Patrick didn't necessarily, right? So
not quite the talent.
Patrick had to make plays. And then you get to the NFL, and you can do some of it, and all of a sudden the defensive end runs a 4.58, and you're like, this ain't great. So is the criticism of he tends to not take the layups, he leans into the spectacular. Is that fair to you?
Well, I think you just have to measure that. And this whole process is a flawed process. It's not totally fair. To think you know this kid after a 15-minute interview and watching him run another offense with another coach and trying to compare, you know, this guy won this many games against ranked opponents, this guy didn't, this guy has this many fourth-quarter comebacks, this guy doesn't. I mean, it's all just, at the end of the day, are you comfortable with him? Do you want him in your locker room? Is he going to make the teammates around him better? Can he get the job done? Can he execute what you're asking him to do? And when you watch Caleb, you see some of the most spectacular, and people use the word awesome way too much, but awesome, electrifying plays I have ever seen any quarterback make at any level. Yeah. It is unbelievable.
He had a play against Arizona. May have been the best play I saw an individual make this year.
I mean, he has won at least almost every game, if not multiple. And then there's a couple where you're like, we got to pull that back. We got to somehow find a way to control that impulse. Shout out Larry David, curb your enthusiasm. Let's just get on with the game. And my analogy is Clark Kent versus Superman. Petty theft and traffic violations. You know what Clark Kent does? He keeps his same boring outfit on, the button down and khakis and the rim glasses, and just keeps on going with his life. Checking the ball down, getting rid of it, taking the sack. You're up 21 against Colorado, not forcing the ball on 3rd and 6. You're running them out of the gym, dude. Get on with your life. They got you.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. Say, uncle, move on. Now, if the biggest building in Metropolis is falling over and there's a meteor about to hit Metropolis,
put the cape on.
Yeah, go get in the phone booth and bring out the cape and let's do this. Do your deal.
Yeah.
And you're going to know that. You know why? Because the coaches know that. The players know that. Everybody in the stadium and everybody watching on TV knows that. So when it's time to take out the cape, take it out, be you. But you can't wear it all the time because it gets raggedy. And when you do it too much, like a little bit this year, I think he's gotten a little loose with the football, a little loose with mechanics, trying to do too much.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, spoiler alert, Superman dies. Yeah. These defensive coaches are coming up with your kryptonite for 6 days, trying to ruin your life on Sunday. Yeah. That's their job. So I have 2 plays picked out for you. We'll beat them up first, and then we'll bring them back to life and praise them after that, okay?
I once had a boss. That was his theory on
well,
boss.
it's like
he goes, Colin,
it's like therapy.
He said, Colin, you're a lot of work. I put my arm around you and kick you in the butt at the same time. So let's start with
exactly
the uplifting people.
No. Other way around. You break them down and then build them up.
Okay, let's break him down.
Yeah, therapy. Okay. So this is going to be a negative play, and you can start rolling the clip. I think he gets fooled at the snap. He thinks there's going to be pressure at the top of the screen. Go ahead and roll it.
Okay.
You see the 2 stacked defenders. A lot of times that'll tell you pressure. It's a bad disguise, in my opinion, by Colorado. But he's going to try and work this slant route because he thinks maybe there's pressure up top. You'll see at the bottom of the screen, he's got an easy completion to Taj Washington, but he decides to go up top. Okay, he picks the wrong side. No problem. The play's not over. We can still salvage this thing. There is a throw here to the halfback before this guy gets to you and tries to rip your face off. This D lineman that comes through porous protection. But he decides to move and get back to the other side, and now he's going to extend the play. Okay, we're entering danger zone. Now, as this play gets longer, I need you to get smarter. You see his vision. It's going to get smaller and smaller as you go to the sideline. He's got a throwaway option right here in Washington, right there. Just throw it at his feet, throw it high and away, a ball only he can catch. This is 3rd and 6. You're up 21 points on the road. But look at this vision. It's getting smaller and smaller, and this. I don't ever, ever, ever want to see this again. Caleb Williams at the next level. This hit, you're out of the game. You're out for the season. The whole staff gets fired. And he throws an interception into a herd of buffaloes.
That's one of the best things you've ever done on this show.
I'm just telling you, this is some hard coaching because I've done this. I saw Patrick Mahomes do this in the Super Bowl a couple months ago or whatever, a couple weeks ago. He threw a horrible interception. One of the worst plays I've seen him have all year. He's had some bad plays. The pick 6 against the Raiders on Christmas Day. Horrible. I mean, as a tough quarterback critique, you're like, dude, this stuff makes me want to puke. What are you doing? But watch what else this kid can do.
Okay.
And it will blow your mind. Wait till you see some of the stills on this. Okay, go. It's drop 8 coverage. He recognizes it right away. So when he's processing the right way, when he sees it and knows it and feels it, dude, this kid is deadly, just like Mahomes, just like the great players that we've seen play quarterback. He's going to start to the left. They got 2-on-2. They got his concept covered. Okay, no big deal. It's drop 8. Don't forget, he's got plenty of time in the pocket. You can take a breath versus drop 8 because there's only 3 guys rushing. Boom, he goes back to the other side, full field read. I like to see that as a college or as a pro scout. Nope, no good. I'm going to extend this play. A lot of guys just get behind this left tackle or left guard here and start running with the football. But this guy's going to extend it a little more, just like he did the last play, but this time he's going to make a great decision. He feels that defensive guy trigger. Look at that silhouette. What does that look like?
Incompletion.
It looks like Air Jordan. Looks like the Jordan logo. That throw, the way he can contort his body, the elasticity he has in his torso and arm talent. I mean, he's got talent dripping out of his ears. But to make this throw, it looks like Derek Jeter fielding a ground ball, going towards third base, slamming on the brakes, jumping up, and gunning a guy out at first base. I mean, it is unbelievable. No, you can't teach that. No coach can teach him to do that. So now, what's the magic with this kid? What do you do? Well, what's the situation? What's the offense he was running? What were they asking him to do? How does he fit in our building? How are we going to develop him? How am I going to get him to understand the impulse control and when it's time to be Superman? And if you can do that, just like they've done with Patrick Mahomes, because he made some of these same unbelievable plays, unbelievably good and unbelievably bad plays in college. Can you do that? Well, what did Patrick have? And I've said it on this show. He had Andy Reid, a system. That language hasn't changed in 6 years. His whole time, 7 years, because he sat out a year watching one of the best pros of all time with their preparation, with the way they see the field. Like Alex Smith, I guarantee you, can go into every room on your offense and teach plays, teach the offense, install the offense to linemen, receivers, tight ends, running backs, and everybody. Can Caleb do that? Well, it sounds like he did pretty well in some of those interviews. Some of the people I'm talking to are like, he's a sharp dude.
Oh, no, he is.
Now, how much do you get into I hear people critique him. Oh, he's crying like a baby with his mom after the game.
Oh.
Okay, Jason Kelsey's one of the best players we've seen in a while. I mean, the guy's balling like a little baby on TV after, because this is his whole life.
Okay,
I mean, of course, he's got a family and kids now, so it's different.
Yeah.
But I mean, I played with the guy. I was his locker mate at Philly. I mean, that's a dedicated, sold-out guy, man. He's in it to win it for the squad. Down. Well, okay, so he cries. He cares that much. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
The fingernails stuff. I mean, people dive so deep into some of this. Yeah, could he show up to your game, on a Sunday at 1 o'clock in a pink suit, yellow shoes, blue fingernails? Maybe. I don't know. But is he going to go ball out? Is he going to make the right decision on 3rd and 6 up 21? Well, a lot of coaches, a lot of teams, they're fine with that because production breeds tolerance. If you're really good, I don't treat everybody equally. I'll treat you fairly. Good coaches understand that. The bus leaves at 2 unless you're Darrelle Revis. That's one of my favorite quotes of all time.
As he often does, crushing it today with unbelievable video breakdowns. I apologize to the radio audience, but sometimes I can't throw you a bone. Sanchez is too good with this video stuff. All right, a guy that's getting crapped on, it's driving J-Mac nuts. It's like they're related or something. Drake Maye's getting clobbered by everybody. And I'm not going to give it away. I said during the break, he's big, he's tall, he moves, and you had a very interesting comp. I was like,
Well, and these comps are so unfair in some ways to the player because you immediately expect, okay, well, he's going to have as good of a career or better than that guy. When you're really trying to evaluate these players as, are they like a legitimate starter in this league? Average to above average starter in this league. Anything else, we'll take it. But to get there, like, can I make this guy that? Or does he have the tools to get me there? And can we put pieces around him and can he develop into something else? But when I watch Drake Maye, that's a big, tall, strong, sturdy dude, man.
And you see,
I said Drew Bledsoe, and that guy was like,
Drew was,
and tough and great release and could sling it all over the yard, took hits, got right back up. I mean, he's a heck of a player. And when you see this Drake Maye kid, you're like, dang, I can work with that. You know what I mean? You see like this big ball of clay and like, I'm going to mold this thing into everything I want.
Consistency.
Yeah, I think there's you got it. Just like with Caleb, just like with any of these guys, you're going to find flaws. Is it injuries? You know, are we talking Michael Penix? Oh, what if he gets hurt again? You know, you'll lose your job. If you pass on Caleb and he becomes Patrick Mahomes, you're fired. Well, yeah, if you miss on any of these guys, you're probably fired. So that's the way it goes. But you want to see, I want to see him in a dirty pocket. I want to see him with guys with trash around his feet. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I want to see him extend a play. I want to see him launch one out of the building like that. God, scouts and coaches just drool over stuff like that. I want to see him roll and chuck a ball up for grabs. Let me see what that looks like. I mean, this guy's got post-snap ability. You could tell, like, okay, he either played basketball or baseball. This dude's an athlete. He can make some plays for me, but he's more of a pocket guy. You look at a guy like Jayden Daniels, you're going to get the extended plays. You're going to get the wild plays on, the sideline. I think he takes some big shots now. My man has gotten pummeled a couple times, and you're just like, ooh, you can't last like that in this league. Ask anybody. Ask any quarterback. You just can't last like that. So, they all have something that you want. All of them can make it happen. It's just, where are you going? What's your situation?
I want to ask you about somebody in the league. He doesn't lean into the spectacular. He wears his religion on his sleeve. Family Guy golf shirts, not cool. Kirk Cousins, I've always said, is Dak without the Jordan brand and the star in the helmet. The numbers are virtually identical. He's out there potentially. You know the coach in Minnesota. What do you make as a former pro quarterback? What do you make of Kirk?
Well, number one, love his game. Ton of respect for the guy. I think he's truly his authentic self. And that's kind of what you're trying to get at with all these interviews with these young kids anyway. Are they being authentic? Is it disingenuous? Like, who is this guy? Kirk's exactly who he is. He knows exactly who he is and owns that. And I love that. 36-year-old guy coming off of Achilles. I'm sure the organization, it makes sense for them to bring him back. And it makes sense for him to not jump ship because you got everything there. You might potentially want to take a pay cut, though, so they could pay some of those other guys.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But you're looking at a guy who's, I think before
his injury, he was on fire.
Yeah, but check these numbers. I think like career before he got to Minnesota or before O'Connell started with him, he was like 76 and 67. So like 11 games over 500.
Yeah.
He's 11 games over 500 right now already. 17
with
and 8.
Offensive coach.
Yeah, and he's missed a little time, but I mean, that guy, he's made some clutch plays, man. And that's a heck of a system. You know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking at that age, the Tom Brady model of, save a couple bucks for these guys. I need
I think so too.
I want a really good pass rusher. I want a really good corner on our defense. I want, we need a couple things. I need some playmakers. Yeah, we got to figure out a way for Justin Jefferson to stick around. So they got, just like every team, they got issues to figure out.
Yeah. Kevin O'Connell of the Vikings is the best coach in the NFL that nobody is yet putting in the best coach group. It takes a while. You got to win games to go to the playoffs. I think I said this about Stefanski 3 years ago. I'd watch Cleveland. I'm like, that is a really good football coach.
It's really good.
It was like he was coaching to win. That he would shut his offense down, and Cleveland fans would go, he's conservative. And I'm like, no, they lead by 8.
Yeah.
There's 4 left.
Let's just drive this thing home.
You know Kevin.
I do really well.
Super bright, right?
Incredibly bright. We knew he was going to coach way back when. I mean, you just know, like guys like Derek Fisher, they're going to coach. Certain players you play with, you're just like, oh yeah, that's automatic. Now, how far you want to take it? You want to be a coordinator? You want to be a head man? Boom, he can do it all.
Can he bark at guys?
Oh yeah, he's got plenty of juice for all that. His looks don't totally give away his whole personality. Like,
he seems like a nice guy.
He seems like a super nice guy, but I mean,
I don't want my coach to be too nice.
Don't execute my play poorly. You know what I mean? Like, get the job done, dude. What are we doing here? We're not just hanging out for our health. We're trying to win games.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he's got plenty of juice for that.
Mark Sanchez came in from the OC. It's a long drive. California traffic's no day at the beach, and we always appreciate you stopping by, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.